Well, here we are again. Good to see you. Yeah, this is a Sedona Method support call. And if you'd like, you're welcome to say hello in the chat, Uday. And as is our habit, I'm going to start this call with a nice, grounded release. And the topic I came up with this week is letting go of the hopeless struggle. So just let that sink in for a moment, letting go of the hopeless struggle. See what it means for you. Several years ago, a friend of mine, he told me, I realized that all my life I've been dating the same woman, marrying the same woman, quarreling with the same woman, and divorcing the same woman, except that each time she has a different face. And I say that to point out how sometimes you realize you're in a loop. Sometimes, you shake your head. How long have I been doing it this way? It's the idea of banging your head against the wall. The hopeless struggle, whatever it seems to be in your life, most of us do have a sense of that. So take a moment and let that unwind in your mind's eye. There may be memories, stories. There could be images and sound. Sometimes it's like a little video. Thinking about that hopeless struggle. And notice how the body reacts. Whatever you came up with, the body has something to say, usually. Check for any sense of tension, any aching, any reactivity, and especially from the throat to the groin. This is a good time to employ our friend, curiosity. Now, I realized before I start this call that I titled this a little bit deceptively. I said, letting go of the hopeless struggle, but that's not quite what we're going to do this time. In fact, what I'd like you to do, whatever it is that you feel is hopeless and a struggle, can you open yourself even further, just as best you can? Probably not the first thing that you would want to do. But here we are. And then see if you can find that resistance, the inner no. There's often a desire to either hang on, figure something out, make it important, or push it away, reject it. Notice. Even a feeling that I don't like this, even that sense of discomfort, that in itself is a clue. There's a judgment somewhere. There's a good versus bad has been decided. So just notice. Just notice how much resistance you actually have. See if you can welcome resistance. And then, of course, the next step is check and see if it feels personal. This is your weight, your hopelessness, your struggle. And first, let's just go about this the old-fashioned way, shall we? Could you let that go? And would you let that go? When? Okay. So, hopeless struggle. Sometimes it appears in the background of all of our everyday life and decisions. There may be just some circumstance in life which is, well, a good example might be a physical problem such as chronic pain, no? That certainly can provide that sense of the helpless struggle. Another, of course, is a habit or a story or a belief which just seems to be stubborn. So just notice what's here for you, and just as best you can, could you allow it, give it space, let it unfold a little further. And don't forget, breathe. It helps things move. Okay, so then check and see if there's any no, any resistance, any wanting this to be different, any wanting to control, any wanting to figure this out. It's all the same thing. Because of course you do. Whatever it is, whatever it seems to be, just notice how much you don't want that. Because why would you? But yet also notice the weight of that resistance. In fact, let's go back and forth a little bit first. Just notice how you feel, right? Notice that sense of hopeless struggle. And then how much you don't want it, the resistance. Struggle, resistance. Struggle, resistance. Struggle, resistance. And then check and see if it feels personal. It often does. Notice how that appears. Notice the body's reactions in particular. Does that feel like it's your story, your problem, your struggle? Sure. So notice that. And when you're ready, let's take a different approach now. Is that you? Is that any of it? Are you those thoughts? Are you those sensations in the body? The easiest test is this: can you control thoughts? Or do they simply come and go as they please? Can you control what's being felt in the body, or does it last forever? Doesn't it just shift and change? Do you have any say in that? How could that be you, actually? What if you were that which is aware? So rest as that which is aware as best you can, and notice how that feels. And some of you may have a solid sense of that. Just notice how it feels to be solidly resting as awareness. Is awareness affected by any of this? But yeah, some of us also still feel there's some problem still, there's some me. And that's okay too. So just notice what's here. And could that be allowed just for now? Time check. It feels like a good time to stop. I don't know how these things happen. Good. Okay. I'm going to check the checks. I see there's been some activity. I don't watch it while I'm doing the group releases. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. And I've lost my ability to let go of the chaos I feel in my mind and body. Interesting to say that. Betsy, would you like to work one-on-one, or would you like me just to address it?
Um, One-on-one would be good, thank you.
How about that? Okay, we can. So you've lost your ability to let go of the chaos you feel in your mind and body.
Yes, based on life circumstances.
But is that really true?
That's how I feel.
Good. Okay, so just notice how that shows up right now. Could you just drop into the body in particular? Is it more in the body or more in the mind? Question.
It's a good question because it's all started in the mind and became sublimated in the body as pain.
That's an interesting observation. Let's just look further. So right now, can you feel that? Is that here now?
Yeah,
Okay. So just notice how it shows up first in the body. Focus entirely on that just as best you can. You know, from the neck down, obviously the shoulders, any kind of tension.
it's it's chronic. It's a lot, a lot of somatic symptoms.
Okay. When you say chronic, I have to take a step back because obviously we're not talking, this is not medical intervention. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose. It may well be
Right,
in a
right.
condition of chronic pain, you would actually need to see a specialist for that.
I absolutely am, but all this began. I know how all this began, and it began with a couple of traumatic events
Okay.
nearly 3 years ago, and I'm still experiencing the fallout.
Yeah. 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 I do understand that then. Well, so I wanted to make that clear. That's the standard disclaimer there, so we're good. I cannot diagnose, treat, and so forth. What I can do, though, is we can address your feelings about that, and that can shift things. In my experience, it shifts tremendously. The first thing really is just notice how whatever it is showing up in your body and how much you don't want it. That's the key right there.
Right? Yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But notice also that you've decided this means something. This has a name, this has a story, it has an explanation. Am I right?
Yes,
Would you be willing to try an experiment with me?
yes.
Okay. Don't expect this to make sense. It doesn't have to. But what if that didn't mean anything at all? What if what you felt was just raw sensation in the body? Could you be open to that possibility that it means nothing?
Well, I'd like to believe it means absolutely nothing. Yes, yes.
That's it. Just, yeah, a simple yes is huge. Okay, so just for now, could you allow it? Would you give it permission to be like that, just as best you can? I know it's a hard one to say yes to, but it's here anyway.
Um, yeah,
Just for
okay,
now, and only as
right,
best you can. That's always, yeah. Okay.
okay.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how intensely are feelings or sensations showing up right now? And
10.
10 would be like maximum?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right then. You've come far with me. Are you willing to take one more step here? One more
Yes.
kind of leap in the imagination. I know this may be completely crazy to you, but pretend with me. Could you pretend that this intensity of sensation in the body, pretend that it's actually something that you love, that you want to feel into and experience? I know. I know.
No,
No,
I mean,
that's okay.
I
That's
don't want
okay.
it. I
Right, right,
don't.
right.
I mean, for the sake of example,
Yeah.
of course, yes, I will, for the sake of perhaps feeling a little bit better. I will.
So you're willing to give it a try. Yeah.
Yes, I'm willing. I'm definitely willing.
Okay, so what that means is that you are turning towards whatever is being felt in the body. And as if it's the most delicious thing that you could ever feel, and you want as much as possible to feel it in every last bit. I know, crazy.
Well,
I know, crazy.
no, I fear if I do that, the uh, pain will become more intense. That's all. Because that's what the question suggests. Just feel it. Allow yourself to feel it.
Well, this isn't going to be a forever experiment. You can always dial it back. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so just for now, could you just try it and see what happens?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be permanent to you.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, you still here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You didn't just,
No, no, I'm here. Yeah. Oh, right.
you didn't get obliterated.
No. No.
So far,
Right.
so good. So far,
I
so
get
good.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And did it become much more horrible?
No.
Hmm. And I know it's a real stretch, but yeah, delicious, terrific. I mean, look at it this way. At the very least, it says this: you're alive.
Yes. I've thought of that.
At the very least,
But,
yeah.
well, that's not, it depends on how one feels about being alive then.
I
But,
don't, yeah,
right?
yeah. What we're doing right now, I'm not trying to solve a problem. I'm not trying to fix it with you. I'm trying to,
I got you.
what we're doing is we're just testing and seeing how, how this all works.
Okay. Sure.
Because, ultimately, well, actually, let me just tell you a story. I think it's a good point. I had a problem in my shoulder that finally a chiropractor was able to address, but it took, it was a half a year, 9 month story of just chronic pain and just really not feeling good. And until finally it just got so bad, I had to walk myself into the emergency. I'm lucky there's a hospital around the corner, but I had to walk myself into the emergency. However, what I discovered was that by radically welcoming the sensations, I could actually shift them into a kind of pleasure or bliss. But the problem was, so that I could do. However, it took focus and concentration, so I couldn't sleep while I was doing that, and I couldn't sleep with the pain. You see what I'm saying? Ultimately, I did need the medical solution, which first the MRI, and then the chiropractor, and then the therapy, and then it was okay. But the pain, what I'm telling you is this, what we've witnessed just now as well. When you resist the pain, it intensifies. When you lean into it and welcome it, it doesn't do what you expect. Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about us understanding how these things work for ourselves so that we can, you know, deal that. There's for you, I would say, if there's a real chronic pain issue, to me, it sounds like possibly a medical issue. I don't know where you've gone with that, and we don't need to discuss it on a support call.
Yeah, I have for many, many years,
There you go.
but it intensifies with
There you go.
immense stress, of course. We all know this.
Oh, stress is it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Stress is poison, unfortunately, for
Yes,
the body. Yes.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just ask you right now, how do you feel as in comparison to where we started? I'm curious to hear that.
Um, I don't know how to describe. I mean,
We,
okay. I mean,
we could continue a little further if you'd like. 'Cause I'm just
no,
trying to
it's
assess where
yeah.
we are right now. We do have time.
I'm. It's the it's when one sees chaos around everywhere. It's difficult to escape it. I'm talking about what I see in my environment. What I see right now in my environment is chaotic. So everything around me is not orderly, not put together, not not the way I was, not the way I was in. It's hard to explain because I moved and nothing is the way it was. Nothing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
And change is too. I had just too many changes all at once, and I just shut down. So anyway, what I'm looking at around me at every moment, every day, every night is the same
So
chaos.
you look around and what you see is chaos.
Yes, yes, correct. And not being
Okay.
able to, not knowing where things are. And I mean, this has been going on
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years already. It's
Mm.
very draining of energy or the will to be able to do anything about it.
Well, let's just check in and see because it seems to me like there's a very strong desire for control. Would you
Yes,
agree? Yeah.
yes, I would. Yes, 100%.
Can you just notice how much you want that? Just feel the intensity of that desire. Could you?
Yes. Oh yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how intensely does that come up for you?
10
10.
plus.
Okay, then. Yeah.
And not, yes, it's there present always.
Okay, then. Well, could you welcome that? Could that be okay to feel that way, is what I'm saying, instead of being a bad thing? Could you
I
welcome
don't
it?
know.
Yeah, just as
I
much as
don't,
you don't know.
you mean welcome the need or the desire? Welcome the desire.
Well, notice that it expresses itself inside of you, right? So there's a
Yes,
strong sensations in the body show up in particular, right?
yes,
Okay,
correct.
right. And so
Anxiety. Yes.
anxiety, okay then, right. So just as best you can you hold space for that? Allow it to be here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then notice, let's go to that desire to control, right?
Notice the desire to control.
Mm, yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
anxiety
Yeah. Uh huh.
and that desire to control,
Yes, for
right?
sure.
Right. And then the anxiety,
Right.
and then the desire to control that anxiety.
Well, I have the desire to control the environment. The anxiety is
Okay.
what I feel when I'm out of control, which I am, which I feel. Excuse me.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, when were you ever in control?
I thought I was. I surely was in control of my environment and the order and the cleanliness and the togetherness of it. And I was
Mm-hmm.
in my home for decades.
Okay.
And to be thrown into the polar opposite is beyond disconcerting.
Uh-huh.
Not, I can't define it. I don't know how to live in it.
You spoke about moving, didn't you? You said that
I
you
did.
moved.
I did.
Right. And so everything is completely different and nothing is the way that you like it.
Not correct. Nothing. I mean, nothing. I mean, zero.
Right. But not only that, but it also affects the way that you feel about yourself.
Yes, it does.
You've lost a sense of self in that as well.
I've lost my identity.
Yeah.
I might even say completely.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes, correct.
Hmm.
Correct. And the longer I realize, the longer I feel this way, the more difficult it is to practice the Sedona method. It has been for me anyway. It used to come uh, not like second nature, but a lot simpler
Right.
to answer these questions that you're asking.
Well, and I would have to say, by the way, just to everybody as well, the Sedona method is wonderful. It has an incredibly powerful set of tools, but it's not the only toolkit out there, and it's not the
Right.
tool for everybody. So, from my perspective, so I mean, here we are just talking for a few minutes, and I'm talking my way to try to understand the whole thing. Um, yeah, I have a sense that this is the kind of a knot that takes a while to work at. It just does. It just does.
Yeah, it
Until
does.
it doesn't. Until it
Until it
doesn't.
doesn't.
I don't really understand. I don't have a quick fix solution for you, first of all.
Of course.
Although I do have a wonderful teaching story. I think it's worth bringing in at this moment.
Okay.
It's I find this such a useful metaphor in life as this. Understand that walking is controlled falling.
That's good.
No, but it is. If you really, really think about what walking is, so here's your body. You can see me on the screen. My hand is, of course, the human body. I really can't do this so clever, but let's just, here you are leaning forward with your foot to take a step. The foot just sort of kicks out, doesn't it? And, and, it,
Yes.
and it catches the body, and then the body moves forward, and the next foot kicks out, and so forth. So if you had an education in physics and mathematics, you could actually do the calculations to understand exactly where the foot has to land in order to catch the forward momentum of the body and not result in, completely falling on your face.
Yes.
I don't know about you, Betsy, but I don't walk around with the notebook making calculations with each step.
Nor do I.
Yeah. But it's also true, though, that if the body got that wrong by just, a couple inches, the result would be boom on the face.
Yeah. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
and there we go down the street each and every day. So, a big part of, here's another way to approach this as well. I'm just throwing tools around. A big part of why we suffer is that intense sense of me that is at the center of all of these stories. It's the sense that I have to do something or something is happening to me. I'm not good enough or I have to do this. And, to most of us, the response is yes, and because of course I have to do it. Because of course it happens to me. There's a strong sense that we all have of me. And yet, a piece of this work, which I find intriguing, is when you go looking for that me,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to find. You may find a sense of feeling, some sensations, some memories. But as far as that real individual sitting there controlling things, not really.
That I understand. That I do. Was a tough concept for years until I understood the Sedona method a little better.
Well, there's a
But
reason why it's a hard concept to understand is because it's not a concept.
Right.
It's actually that which is beyond concepts.
Exactly. Yeah. It is. It is. It just is being. It's
Well, and so when you say that I understand, we can talk about it, we can talk about it and describe it in words and understand it from the mind's point of view. But the real understanding of it is the experience.
correct.
And
And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay. So again, though, so I've lost my ability to let go of the chaos I feel in mind and body. And the answer would be, so what?
Mm.
Who is it that feels that way? Can you find the one who feels that way?
No, no, it's just the story that,
Right.
but it's the story, but the story happened.
Well, sometimes it also helps to look a little closer at stories, shall we?
Mhm.
Yeah. So stories are something that the mind constructs. Would you agree?
Yep. Yes.
Right. So what happens is the mind will go and choose various different memories. And then it constructs a story which is pointing at outcomes. Usually these stories are stories of doom. Oh, don't do that. Or this will happen. Or if you keep at it like this, you know, watch out.
Right.
First thing to notice though, when you think about your stories, don't you see that you've chosen very selectively those memories that you have used to assemble your
Yeah.
story?
Well, yes.
If you look, can you also find examples where that wasn't the way it was?
Well, naturally, yes.
Now, it doesn't mean that what happened didn't happen.
Right.
But the point is that the mind is assembling these memories into a structure of meaning. Ooh, now it starts to get serious. You see? There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with stories. Stories are extremely useful. It's when we believe them to be true.
Yeah, that's the part I have trouble with.
Most of us have problems. Welcome to the club. We meet on Fridays.
Yeah. Oh, golly.
No,
All
but
right.
this is wonderful because we're touching on so many pieces of the puzzle here. It's been very useful having this discussion. Do you see?
Yes. Yeah, I shall
Yeah.
ponder. I shall ponder.
Well, could I recommend that there's also something beyond pondering? Do you follow me?
What's beyond, oh, letting go.
Not just that. Can you find the one who ponders?
No,
That's
no.
the kind I'm talking about. So,
Oh,
in other
okay.
words, the essence of what I'm doing here, Betsy, just to be very clear, um, ultimately what we're doing is resting as that which is aware.
Yes, yes.
What we're doing is just exploring the limits of of the mind and the memories and the sensations, and what is beyond that. What is it that surrounds and interpenetrates that? You know,
Understood. Yeah.
love, beingness, heart space, the non-dual awareness. There's so many different names for it, but that is the source of infinite creativity. That is the source of our courage, our peace.
I know all the things that are out of my reach that were close, that were here, that I embodied. That
Nonsense.
nonsense.
Can I just give you a concrete example?
Go ahead.
You're here talking to strangers on, you know, a device. This is being recorded, and you're going through your deepest feelings.
Yes, I am.
What's the word for that? Oh, yeah. courage.
Oh, well, I don't even think of it that way. See, to me, I was a very courageous individual. Most outspoken. I mean, I can't even believe I was that person. So this doesn't feel courageous to me. This does not feel at all. These, no.
Oh, well, you could just give up and crawl under your desk.
Well, you know what? I
Maybe some
have.
days you do. Yeah.
No, most. No, most.
Mm.
And it's not characteristic of me, but things happen. But okay, I'll accept what you say for now.
I'm telling you, somebody who gets up, and gets to the computer on time to take part in a support call is somebody who wants a solution.
Oh, yes.
Somebody who is ready to take steps in that direction is also part of it. And this is an exercise in courage. I recognize it.
Okay. I appreciate that I can incorporate that. I don't feel it, but I don't feel it that way. However,
Yeah,
perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. And it certainly helps to believe that it is.
there are different pathways to the heart, and one of the easiest ones is gratitude.
Mhm.
And so what I'm talking about right now are qualities of the heart. There is, of course, courage. Gratitude is very obtainable for everybody, which is why we very often start with a gratitude practice. But
Right.
just the simple feeling of, you know, you step outside and you smell fresh air and you can hear bird song. Just
But
that's all it takes.
I, yes, I know because I was able to do that. My whole, the whole of my life was one of being
Uh-huh.
mindfulness. But when things changed, and they changed,
Mm.
it's not possible for me to, I don't know how to access that anymore in a noisy, chaotic environment. One cannot find peace. Well, one probably can. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to find one in this.
Can
I
you
am, I,
can you find the one who is unable to find peace?
no,
It's a little bit like walking the
sorry for the noise. I'm getting ready to, I unfortunately have to go
oh, of
somewhere, but I'm
course,
going
of
to
course.
listen to you.
Well, it's a little bit like walking the balancing beam is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
But you actually do have access, as we have demonstrated again and again. It's really a choice of focus, and it's a bit of, from my mind, coming back in it again and again and again to this, what I call the heart or the non-dual awareness or the practice, simply. There are times when you're extremely challenged, and it sounds like that's one for you right now, Betsy. But,
Yes, true. True.
but, and sometimes life can be like that, you know.
Yeah.
I wish I were the guy that could come along and go like that, but I'm not that person. But what I can tell you though is that when you're feeling challenged, I also look at that as progress because in my experience, and I'm 62 years old, sometimes it feels shitty.
Oh no, I just lost the audio. You can probably hear me.
I
Oh
can hear
gosh,
you. You can't
it'll
hear
come
me?
back. I,
Oh, I'm so sorry, Betsy. Listen, I think Betsy, I think it's time to move on.
me.
Would that be okay?
Oh, there, I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you now.
Oh, okay, Betsy, I'm gonna wrap it up with you right now, if that would be okay for now.
Please. Yeah, I want someone. Yeah, but I'm listening. Thank you.
We're good. Okay, then. So come back next time and we can continue. It's good to see you. Okay. So what are we doing here? Uday, are you still on the call? Because you had written that you had some questions. I see you there unmuting as well. Good.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm attending this call in the midnight from Taiwan. I'm actually from India, but I'm a student in Taiwan.
Well, then you are very welcome. Midnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
great.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this
Sure.
call. I'm very grateful for this. And I think today I took away something that is very valuable. First of all, like the theme itself is very interesting to me because I am also facing this in my life at the moment. That is this struggle and having no hope for life.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, and also the way you describe the resistance, like trying to push it away, trying to resurrect. I don't like this feeling, discomfort.
right,
I really, yeah, love these, the way you ask these questions. And also, you also said to pretend as if you really like the feeling.
right.
Yeah, I think that is one of the very good insight that I will carry.
Good.
But I have, okay, let me share my experience with this kind of stuff. I listened to Jim Newman in Hale Dwoskin in podcast. When I listen for the first time, I don't really get it. But after listening to 2 to 3 times, then I really get the idea. Like there is no one. Like there is a witness, obviously, but the sense of me, the sense of I, the sense of my body, these are all just like waves that are appearing, and they're apparently real at the moment, but they all drop.
Hmm. Yeah.
So now I want to I'm practicing Vipassana. I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh, I have.
Uh,
I've practiced it as well. I quite enjoy it.
okay, great. My question is, I am thinking of using Vipassana
Hmm.
to make myself feel more on a daily basis.
To what? To make yourself feel more?
I mean, my ability to feel different kind of emotions, like get into my body.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But for some stuff, I don't think Vipassana gives direct answers like relationships, wanting to control, wanting approval. So I also want to learn the Sedona method.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, when I'm using the Sedona method, I'm using the journaling
Mm-hmm.
uh, as a practice. I'm just writing whatever comes up as a raw emotion, more like the morning pages. Just
Right.
whatever is coming, I'm just writing it down. So my question is, can I use journaling
Of
for
course.
doing this? And also, second thing, I was previously working with the feeling of jealous.
Mm.
Previously, I wouldn't accept myself to feel it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I hate this guy, or like sometimes lust comes on. Like I want to be with her, I want her to be my girlfriend, something like that.
Mm.
Previously, I wouldn't allow that, but recently, I'm just writing without any judgment, like not making it right or wrong, something like that. And yeah, one final thing I want to ask you, if you can give me some tips to work this with this method more consistently on a day-to-day basis, because I'm pretty new to this method, but I really want to learn it and get all the benefits out of it. If you can give me a few
Sure.
tips or something, that will be very helpful. Thank you.
Sure, 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 sure. So I've actually studied many different modalities, and I think a lot of other teachers I know do that. A lot of other students do that as well. We try different various things. Also, you find that as you get deeper into the Sedona method, you can feel that, for example, Eckhart Tolle,
Hmm.
what he's talking about,
Yes,
or
yes.
other different teachers. I'm just choosing him as an example, but you can really begin to see how these things relate to each other as well.
Hmm.
At the essence of the heart of the whole thing, I think, really is that sense of me.
Yeah.
And if you watch Hale Dwoskin and Jim Newman, of course, there is no me, and there never was, and nothing ever is happening anyway. And this doesn't mean anything. And it can be quite confusing because it's not about making sense. So,
Actually, to be honest, I didn't get the second part. I know there is no me in this thing that is happening, but I didn't get the part where he says nothing happening. I still couldn't get my head around this concept, but
Don't worry,
maybe it
don't
will.
worry, don't worry about it. I wouldn't. I find the non-dual folks to be interesting,
Hmm.
amusing, um,
Hmm.
but it doesn't really resonate that well with me at the moment, so that's okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
The essence of it really is this, that for most of us, we go through life with a sense of a me, somebody who is driving the show, and
Yeah.
somebody who is responsible, and somebody who has a history and a
Hmm.
story.
Yeah.
And all of this is true, and yet it isn't.
Hmm.
And you can talk about knowing that this is true or not from an intellectual point of view,
Hmm.
but that's not what's really helpful. It's more the lived experience of this phenomena of the me.
Hmm.
And you can see this especially in, like, for example, creative expression. The more that it's about me, the less I can express. Right? I mean, if I'm a writer and I'm spending every minute of the day worrying about how people are perceiving this, and, you know, if it has to be about me and my career and it has to be the best sentence ever written, I can't. There's an expression I think you may have heard: dance like nobody is watching. If you
Yeah.
feel that others
Yeah.
are watching you dance, then you can feel very, again, self absorbed,
Hmm.
self concerned. So
Hmm.
when we start to focus on the self, everything
Hmm.
else becomes disaster, actually. It really truly does. And that's, again, I don't know, was that helpful?
For me, it was truly helpful because recently, after listening to this non-radical radical non-duality message, I found out all my life I was reading these self-help books like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy. All these guys are fine, but the thing is, it's like as if you are broken, you need to fix something.
Right,
And
right.
then I realized why it is always about me. I want to do this. I want to go there. This is what I want to achieve. It's all about me, me, me. And I think people will see me like a pain in the ass, when they interact with me.
Right, of course.
I realized I don't need to be, I need not to be like this self-centered, in my life. Like, for example, when I'm swimming or going to a gym, I can be nobody and just enjoy the moment without the sense of me.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I realized that.
Yes.
So that message really helped me, but I can see that it is a fake story that we created ourselves, and maybe the body will actually create this illusion of separation. And I realized it as well.
Yeah, and again, there's always two levels of
Mhm.
realization. There is knowing
Mhm.
in the mind what is happening, but there's also the actual lived experience.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah. I don't think I have been there yet, but yeah, it
No.
is very liberating, to be honest. It's very liberating for me to get rid of that pain, suffering, that I have to do something. I need to be something. I need to, it's like I have this self enterprise of me that I have to take so many decisions to make it a success,
Right, right.
something like that.
It's a never-ending job, this job of me. It has
Hmm.
an infinite amount of tasks, an infinite weight,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it's never ever finished and never ever satisfied, never good enough. Never, never.
Yeah.
The whole me thing. Um,
Hmm.
this. I know this is kind of a crazy message here, so please don't misunderstand me. But I will never be good enough from that point of view, that sense of
Yeah.
me. It's,
Yeah, sure,
and
sure,
that's
sure,
completely okay as well.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's there's actually another fellow around here that you may have heard of. His name is Emerson, and he does you.
Mhm. I read about his quotes, but I haven't really went through his work. But
Oh,
yeah,
he's
I'm.
a wonderful guy. You can Google
Mhm.
Emerson non-duality,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
you know you can meet with him, and what he will tell you is that there's nothing to know, there's nothing to solve, there's nothing to fix.
Okay.
All of this seeking
Mm-hmm.
is pointless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that part intellectually, to be
Right,
honest.
right.
But yeah, as a feeling, as a sense of feeling, I still don't have that grasp on it.
Well, and then in that case, I would ask you, can you find the one who doesn't have a grasp?
I couldn't find actually.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I
so
couldn't find that.
is
Yeah.
any of this you, or you just are you this endless story, or these thoughts, or these sensations? Is it?
Yeah, none of these stories remain constant. They always drop, always changing. Like a like Vipassana says, it's like a flowing river, like it's always flowing, one thought after the other.
Yes,
But
yes, exactly.
yeah. Mhm. But yeah, like I'm asking you the question, if I can use the journaling
Mm-hmm.
and how to best use the journaling for Sedona method. And
Mm-hmm.
also,
Okay.
while I'm working, actually, if I want to invite a feeling, like in Sedona method, we welcome a feeling, right?
Right.
Because I hear from 2 to 3 different teachers, they say if you can welcome the feeling, that itself is a release. You don't need to actually let it go. If you just let it be
Correct.
here,
Correct.
you're almost letting it release. Yeah,
Right.
so I'm journaling in such a way that, for example, whatever the thought comes, I'm just writing it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, like for example, if I'm working with jealous, I will write very nasty stuff like, I don't like this guy is an asshole, all this kind of stuff. So
Sure.
I want your opinion on this. And also, yeah, can you give me some tips on how to work with Sedona method? Like maybe before I sleep, or like
Okay,
small practices.
you're asking a lot of questions. I can answer one at a time. So let's just
Okay,
start with
sure,
one.
sure, sure. Yeah.
Let me just give you one particular tip because you talked about allowing,
Hmm.
welcoming,
Hmm. Yeah.
and releasing. Um, and this is just a little tip for everybody. I think it's a useful piece of advice. Um, you're correct when you say that allowing or welcoming is the same as letting go. It really, really, truly is. The natural way things work is what you see in children. Something happens to them, they have a reaction to it, but very quickly
Hmm.
it's finished.
Yeah.
So the letting go can have, I like to say, a secret trap. Some people,
Okay.
we get really into the method, we're very excited, we have some nice shifts. And
Hmm.
then it becomes obsessive, like I have to let go of everything now. And
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
turned it into a job, right? you
Yeah.
know and the next thing you hear is it's like it's not working anymore. Letting go just
Hmm.
doesn't work for me the same way it used to.
Hmm.
So I wonder, in that story, can you hear how letting go can become all kind of sticky with that desire for control?
It actually, I noticed it. Sometimes
Yeah,
this letting go method itself will become
yeah,
a resistance to the surrender.
yeah.
You actually want to change the feeling. Oh, I
Right,
don't feel good. I will use the letting go so
right.
I can let go of this negative feeling. I know.
so
I felt this way. Yeah.
so that is, I think, a very obvious trap that people run into, and that's
Hmm.
why it's useful to have that conversation, that allowing and welcoming is really the same thing as letting go.
Okay. Yeah.
It really
Wow.
truly is, because yeah, either way. Also,
Hmm.
In a similar fashion, if I ask you, would you let that go? And you say no,
Yeah, it will go. I know.
it's a wonderful thing
Yeah.
actually. And why? It's because
True.
sometimes
Yeah.
because sometimes the no's are even harder. Because everybody,
Hmm.
we all expect you to say yes, yes. And
Yeah.
the answer is no.
No. Yeah.
And when you're honest about the no,
Hmm.
that's a
Yeah.
liberation.
Sometimes,
There you go. So that's actually
sometimes it happened to me also. Like the
right.
more I say no, it's like I can feel the release. Yeah. True.
Even the no can be the opening. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And was there something else you wanted to ask me? I forgot.
Yeah. I want to be mindful of the time because I want you to address the others. So can you give me some tips on working on a daily basis? Like maybe take small stuff and work with some technique.
Well, you were talking about journaling. So
Hmm.
there's a very simple technique in
Hmm.
uh, where you can write down a feeling that you've noticed, like I hate my sister,
Hmm.
whatever it is.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
then you can let go of it. You
Hmm.
actually you actually have written it down, and so now what you're going to do is the same way that you would go through it in a tape or a recording or with the facilitator.
Hmm.
Check and see, is that connected to a desire to control, approval, security, separation, oneness? And
Hmm.
whichever one it is, you can just make a note there, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
In fact, I think the notation was like WA would be
Yeah.
wanting
W
approval. You can
WC.
you can
Yeah.
make your own codes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, okay, so now you've identified the want, and it can be more than one, and then you
Hmm.
can do it. Would you let that go? And you let that go, and then you cross it off the list. So that's a very simple way to
For
do it.
me, identifying and working with different wants at the same time feels very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can just focus on one emotion.
Mm-hmm.
What would you suggest? Like sometimes you can feel anger and fear at the same time, but it's quite difficult, to get a grasp on uh, both the feelings.
Um, I don't know. I've found that for me, things just come up naturally. There's always
Mm-hmm.
something coming up. I don't have to look for it. It comes and hits me in the
Okay.
face, usually. But
Mm-hmm.
there was something else that came up to my mind for just a second here. One thing that is actually useful, you asked about daily practice.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain point at which the method, the Sedona method, becomes kind of second nature. And I think
Yeah.
that's useful. What I mean is that in the moment you realize, oh, yeah, this is a desire for approval,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and as you notice it in the moment, that itself can be the release. I find that, I may be, for example, walking into a room, having a meeting with people in some situation, and some emotion comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I recognize, oh, okay, I'm having a reaction. Let's just, ooh, hang on. And oh yeah, boy, yeah, there's a desire for approval. Wow, I can feel that. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying that I'm not constantly doing therapy on myself. Don't get me wrong. It's not that. It's that more and more in the moment, there is a natural realization of these things. You see?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you begin to notice the patterns, they begin to unravel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's if that's okay, I'd like to wrap it up with that, Uday. I think there are a number of, really, there's so many different ways to practice the method, and those are a couple good ones. Is that a good start?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Sure. Thank you so much.
good, good, good. Okay. I would like to ask if anybody else would like to raise their hand. We've reached the end of the hour, but I'm still flexible on that. I'll give you a moment or two to think about it if you'd like. Oh, I see Ryan. Go ahead.
Hi, Jen. Hey, thank you for taking my
Well, sure.
call ish. Um, yeah, I just want to to ask about. I'm having some feelings, I guess, of insecurity and with I don't know. I just like feeling like someone's upset with me. Um, I know I kind of feel like for a fact that some people are like in my family, like my dad in particular,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes with my wife, I'm not sure. So it just bothers me more than I'd like it to. You know?
I see. I'm just checking because I heard a little feedback before, but I don't hear it now. We're good. Okay. So, yeah, would you just want to welcome what those feelings that you named?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. And notice how they show up in the body in particular.
yeah. Mhm.
Right. And what if that didn't mean anything at all? What if that was just weight or raw sensation in the body?
That would be good. That would be a good thing for sure.
Okay, then, well, could you let that go?
Feels like no, like a little
Excellent.
bit
See,
for yeah.
well, if it's a no, that's fine. Would you let that go?
Uh, I feel like also a no.
A no, and
Like I
then
want to
when?
figure it out.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
When I guess I would let go of some of it now for sure.
Okay. All right, then.
Feel some of that saving it for later kind of feeling.
Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah.
On a
Yeah.
scale of 1 to 10, how intensely does it come up? 10's your maximum.
Um, maybe it was like a 7 and now it's like more of a 5.
Ooh, there you go. That's a nice one right there. Would you like to make it go faster?
Yeah.
Okay, notice that's also resistance, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Sneaky,
Definitely.
isn't it? So could you welcome that?
Yes.
And check and see if
Yeah.
there's any more desire to make it different.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even more, could you welcome even more?
Yes.
Uh, and let's be
Mhm.
honest, it's about you, isn't it? This is really
Mhm.
personal.
Yeah.
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 So notice the feelings that show up when you feel that way. Could be shame, could be anger, could be.
Yeah, there's some anger because I wish certain people didn't think of me in the way that I think that they're thinking of me. Don't really know
There
for
you
sure.
go. There you go. There you go. Well,
Mhm.
let's just check and see though. Do you know that they think of you that way? For sure.
No, I don't.
Notice how you feel when you believe that you do.
Yeah, I feel kind of down, and then I feel kind of angry that I don't know. Like, well, I feel kind of angry that they won't kind of just tell me directly. I feel like yeah, I don't know, like they would rather not tell me, and it feels like passive aggressive kind of, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know,
Right, yeah.
kind of angry about that. To
Well, just for now,
be
would you give
honest.
yourself permission to feel that way since you feel like that anyway?
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Yeah. Is there any more that you're
there's definitely
hiding, saving
resistance.
for later?
Well, there's like resistance to feeling that way. So yeah, I think there is stuff I'm hiding for later, like
Uh-huh.
the anger feeling.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just notice it. That's really all you have to do is just, it's there. So then notice that this feels personal because you don't think you can give yourself permission.
Yeah. I don't want to stand out, kind of show that I'm angry. It feels like you said,
Right.
I'm not giving myself permission.
Also notice
Yeah.
the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Feel that pressure and just allow it.
Hmm.
And if you would be willing, could you just sit with this for a moment or two and allow it to be just like this? Would you give it permission to be like this for a moment or two?
Yes.
Hmm. Let's try something different. Can you find the one who feels this way?
No. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite questions lately. Can you find the one who feels that way?
No, I
Not
can't.
really, no. So just for now, could you rest as all that is and allow all to be as it is? Let the weight fall away and just be for a moment. And have a few breaths and just notice what is. Just notice the thoughts as they come and go. And notice also sensations in the body. And just allow it all. Does any of that affect you, by the way?
No.
Is any of that personal? Is that really, really intimately you?
No.
Huh. So just for now, could you allow this all to be as it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The wonderful thing about solutions is they always seem to come from nowhere if you allow them. Would you be open to solutions?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So just for now, could you say yes to solutions from nowhere?
Yes. Yes.
Because why not?
Exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And check inside and see if there's a problem somewhere that you haven't addressed yet. Check and see.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead and tell me. If you want to, of course.
I think I could have a conversation with certain people, like my dad, who, I don't know for sure how he's feeling, but I know that he's mentioned a little bit. And I think I'm avoiding just talking with him out of kind of anger. And I'm just kind of tired of how he keeps doing this. He just keeps getting, I think, upset with me in like a passive aggressive way. And yeah, and I just, in the past, I would run to him and try to figure it out and try and talk with him, which I know is what he wants to, because I think he wants some attention for it. And this time I'm kind of like out of anger, but also out of exhaustion, avoiding it. And I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not really sure what exactly to do, but I feel like communication is maybe the only way to begin doing something about it.
It sounds like a
But
solid
I just want,
instinct. Yeah, but would you like to work a little bit with that issue? Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, I was hoping I would just be able to let it go on my end, and I'm not sure sometimes that I can. Sometimes I feel like I have to talk to him, which I
of
don't want
course,
to
you
do.
have to talk to him. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
notice, okay, so, let me share with you a tool that really helps a lot. What if your dad is just doing the very best that he can, even if it doesn't look that way or seem that way? Do you follow me?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if it looks horrible or fucked up, what if that's actually his best attempt?
Yeah. I'm open to that for sure.
And this is kind of an interesting point to make with everybody here. We and the other people around us are actually very limited in some very strange ways. When we really get to know ourselves and so forth. For example, my father, wonderful guy, he passed away this year. It's okay. But wow, he had some very severe limitations, some very hard beliefs as well, you know. And yet, that's just, you know, each and every one of us is doing the very best that we can in each and every moment. And here's the catch, given whatever limitations we're working with. And my friends, those limitations can be severe. They can be shocking. And I'm talking about literally everybody on the planet, including all of those obvious characters that you might not like. You know, everybody is doing the very best that they can in every moment, given the limitations. Does that apply to your father, Ryan? Can you see how that might
Yeah.
fit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, and like I feel like less angry about it, but at the same time I feel like he is actively trying to hurt me in some ways, that and I don't feel as angry now, but I guess there's sadness about it, like, because I don't see how that's helping him or me, or anybody.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. What does it mean that he's trying to get you angry? He wants to feel something with you, no?
I think so. Yeah.
He is trying to provoke an intensity of emotion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, this is something for everybody to pay attention to. That may look like aggression and it may appear as aggression. And by the way, sometimes it is. And I want to make very clear that actual physical violence is not cool. We don't accept that. But, you know, if your father seems to be trying to pick a fight, what if that is just an expression of love? And I mean, I'm talking about really gimpy, really not helpful. But you follow what I'm trying to say, Ryan?
Yeah.
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 You know,
Mhm.
I spent so
Yeah.
much time trying to fix my parents, trying to teach them, trying to help them to realize certain things. Pointless. Pointless.
Yeah.
Pointless. In the end, my dad did just exactly the way he always did. And, you know, I learned to love him for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what if your dad doesn't ever change? Could you allow that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah. So that's it right there. So just notice that there is love for your father. Notice that that love is present even if he doesn't change. Because guess what? Chances are
Yeah.
most of the people around us in our lives don't change, actually, or at least not huge amounts.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
just stay the same way they are. Could that be okay? Just for now. And by the way, it's always a useful clue. It's that way anyway. So, what's the smart choice?
Yeah. It feels like I should be okay with it, but I still feel kind of like I'm not, like,
That right there, lean into that. Just notice how that felt, how that comes up.
I mean, it feels validating to say to myself that I don't think it's okay, and I don't
Right.
accept it. Like, I wish I could, and I wish I could for my own sake, because I know, like you said, the smart choice is stop trying to change how he is or what he did or
Right.
think. But it just, I don't know how I can, because it's like, it feels like he's asking me to be okay with things that I'm not okay with.
Okay,
And,
so the starting point is this. Just lean into it. Notice how you don't feel okay with all of this. and allow that feeling to come up just as it is. Allow it to be valid, to feel that way.
Yeah. That feels a little invalid too, you know, it feels a little bit like I'm in the wrong. And that's the direction I usually lean, kind of like to please other people or whatever, but also I just don't feel like it's okay. And
I get it. So you feel that you're responsible for that feeling.
feels like a push-pull for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
Responsible for.
can you control that feeling? Could you make it go away?
No. No. Yeah.
How could you be responsible? How could that be personal? How could that be you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
So, okay, notice how intensely personal it feels, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But notice also how that's just a belief.
Yeah.
That's just a thought.
Yeah.
Let's do it a couple of times. Notice how
Mhm.
intensely personal that feels. Because that is a feeling
Mhm.
that is there. But notice also that that feeling is just sensation in the body.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Is that you,
Mhm.
or is that simply sensation in the body? Is that personal, or is it merely a kind of indigestion?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel as personal. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But would you give yourself permission to feel that way if that's the way it feels? Just for now, could you give it full permission just as best you can?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Right. And then can you find the one who feels that way? Can you find the one who owns that feeling?
No, I can't.
Okay. Is that feeling the same as when you started? Or has it shifted something?
It shifted for sure. Feels less personal for sure.
Okay. So there we are. Just notice that.
Mhm.
Good.
Mhm.
And just check and see. Are you these thoughts? Are you these feelings?
No.
Okay. And notice how that
Mhm.
feels to rest as that awareness.
Feels more freeing. Like I feel like I'm looking in from the outside a little bit in a way. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And by the way, let me just check and see, is there love for that father of yours?
I think so.
Can you hold him for a moment in your mind's eye and just imagine him with all of his mistakes? All of the good, all of the bad, the human, the full. Just,
Yeah.
could you love him just exactly like that, just for now? And feel that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. Can you love him for being that way?
Yeah, I could.
You may even come to the point where, the next time he tries to get you angry, it just makes you laugh. Because it's kind of fun, kind of sweet. I don't think he really means to hurt you in any way. He's just trying to provoke reaction. Do you have that sense of it too, or?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Definitely.
It sounds like he's just like a lot of that generation. He's just not that emotionally mature. Quite frankly, most human beings are not.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Just
sometimes when they're trying to get us angry, especially, they're just giving us the highest energy they have. Can you
yeah.
imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. not as personal too. Just, yeah.
So, sometimes I find myself just taking a step back and saying inside, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Is that the best that you can do? Really? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay. It feels like a good place to wrap it up. What do you say, Ryan, just for now?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I do feel a lot better and free around it.
Guys,
Thank you.
a quick word. I'm going to wrap this up now. I did put in the chat kind of a menu of services. You'll see that if you want to click on that. That's something I threw together this week. I finally had the idea doing that. I am putting together something called the Circle. If you're on my mailing list, you've received communication about that. And it's just that, yeah, I need to make this more sustainable for myself. That's one part of it. But also, charging money for this enables me to up the level of service as well, too. I would like to kind of commit myself to a group of people who want to work together on a weekly basis and incorporate the heart and releasing into their day-to-day lives in a much more practical way. So that's what I had to say. I'll enable or allow you to click on that link if you wish and have a look at that. And if you're not on the mailing list, you can also join by looking at the link in the comments. And that was it from me for today. I will put this together and send the call recording out by email today as well. And I'll see you guys next Friday. And I love doing this. And Uday, you also wrote that Michael Singer books go well with the method. I don't know his work very well, but I actually have come across it a little bit, and I think you're probably right. So that's a good comment as well. Okay, you guys, I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can all say goodbye. So until next time.